Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Poetry and Perspective with Placide. Listen, guys, I had the most interesting week, interesting day, and even a more interesting night. But let me tell you something. This night is about to get real hot, okay? So, listen, trouble, things are gonna come our way, but guess what? We gotta deal with it as we can, okay? I was sweating bullets a while ago. You didn't even know that, eh? Okay. But anyway, so welcome to Poetry and Perspective with Placide. Thank you so much for being here on the show. Tonight we have two amazing individuals for you all the way from St. Lucia, guys, and they are doing some amazing things. As you all saw me promote it, we have two it's a family affair tonight, okay? So we're gonna have some amazing poems, and we're gonna hear the background stories and everything. So get ready for that. But before we do that, okay, let me go ahead as usual and let me get you guys on Facebook to see what we are doing here. I don't know I always have to do that, but I do. Okay, so yes, let me take care of my privacy. It's telling me only friends. So now we are to the okay public. There we go, guys. Okay, so I hope everybody can see me. So listen, guys, before we start, I know we are a few. I know we are a few minutes behind. But before we go on, there's I know a lot of things are happening, and there are a lot of people who are going for so much. And I know I usually make an introduction, but tonight I want to say this. I want to say a special, let me get my little notebook here. I want to say a special good day and good evening to the Placide family my Placide family in Bunts-Lagras, in View, in Labrie, um, Andre Placide, my mother-in-law and my mother forever, okay? And she lost her husband and the matriarch of the family. And so I just wanted to tell you, Miss, I love you. I am here. You are in my prayers, and I'm thinking about the entire family. You have been a mom to me, and I love you. So I want you to stay strong. Leandra Placide, the Placide family, the Creek family. Okay, everyone, I want everyone who's involved. These are my sons. These are my son's grandfather that passed away. So I just wanted to send my love and to send my condolences, to let you know. I hadn't mentioned it on the show, but I got a little bit I got a little bit emotional because I know him. So it has been really tough for me. So I just wanted to say, guys, I love you guys. I also wanted to say a wonderful good night and get well wishes to my friend Cletus Prosper in the hospital. He has been there for a couple of weeks, and I just wanted to say, I know you are a trooper. I know you are a fighter, and I know you are going to pull through this. And I want to say a special good night to June. June, you have been an amazing wife and caretaker to him. And so keep putting on up a fight and keep encouraging him to be to get up and to get stronger, girl. You are in my prayers, and everyone else is praying for you. Okay. So now, with that said, guys, let's continue the show. I'm gonna make it short. My name is Cindy Placide. I am your kind hostess. I am from the beautiful Caribbean island of St. Lucia in the Caribbean. Tonight, I was going to do slides. I'm not going to do any slides. I am an author. I am a poet. I'm an advocate for mental illness, autism, tonothoracic dysplasia, which is dwarfism. I promote like minds like myself. And so here tonight, I am not going to take any more time. I'm going to bring my beautiful guests. Please welcome Neil and Kishma Serieux. So there they are. Hello, people.
Hey,
How are
Listen,
you?
I'm doing. Listen, you believe it or not, I saw you laughing at me on the screen, eh? But it calmed me down. I'm gonna. This is not working. I'm trying to get it to work. It's not working. Okay. So, but I had, like I told you guys, I had so many difficulties this evening, and the computer decided, okay, it's not gonna come on, and I'm going, oh, okay. I was panicking. So, so guys, tell me a little bit about yourselves. I know it's a serious family affair tonight, so I want to start with ladies first. Kishma, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, Hey, we're gonna be here a while. Well, I'm Kishma, of course. This is my cousin Neil. Um, I think one of the things that you establish off the bat is like once you're sending me Serieux, there's some level of artistic thing happening. We're from the
Okay.
community of Monrepo. I'm a spoken word poet. I write as raw and as authentically as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm a mom, and I'm here. I think one of the most difficult questions to answer sometimes is tell me about yourself. Because literally, I'm like, just how deep am I supposed to go here? Do we talk about colors, or are we talking about trauma? Are we talking about work? Like, how deep do you really want me to go?
Well, you went deep enough.
Yes,
Tell me a little
there
bit
you go.
about your background. Tell me a bit about your background, right? In the community of Peru. You can jump in anytime. You tell me a little bit about your backgrounds. I know you're like cousins, okay? So I know you'll have
Mhm.
the artistic flavor and artistic aura in your. Tell me about your background, how you grew up. What was it like for you guys?
Well, you see, that's a beautiful thing about Monopo. Monopo has been and it continues to be a very close knit community. And we proudly hold the title of being one of the most culturally vibrant communities, along with Bellevue and Choiseul, etc. And so generally, there is a deep appreciation for culture and arts in Monopo. So you're not
Mm-hmm.
pushing against the grain or, as hard as you would someplace else. um, you can comfortably show up in Monopo and expect to get support from people in Monopo. You jamopo, period. Whether
Big up
because just like
Mopo
right,
Massive, okay?
Pop, pop, pop.
and so you grew up with that kind of cohesion. You grew up with if you didn't say good morning to Miss So and so, your mother would know about it. You grew up with going to pick guava and cherries and all that. We grew up with that kind of community
Mm-hmm.
spirit. And as a result, even as you become an adult, you still reach out the same way that person's reached out to you. So
Mm-hmm.
that is in essence, Monopo is my place of peace. And that's what it means.
Okay.
And generally
So
that is how we grew up.
how
Peaceful
about
and troublesome.
peaceful and troublesome?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So Neil, tell me a little bit about you. How
Yeah.
ah,
No, I was just saying, Kishi summed it up so nicely. Um, there's only so much that can be said once you come to Monipo. Um, when you visit, the hope is that you're gonna come to Monipo, and I'm trust me, you're not gonna want to leave there. So close knit, very vibrant. Everybody's really nice. Um, you didn't grow up if there wasn't some kind of social or cultural activity going around. If you're not going to hear the music or the Siwinal or the Laos Festival or Lagamagawit, So we grew up very, 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 very vibrant. There's always something going on. In fact, we're very excited to be here because we actually have we're going to get into that a little later, where
okay.
we as artists have come together and really taken it to a different level. So I'm really happy to be here with my cousin. Um, we've gotten really close over the years, especially through the arts. What
Mm-hmm.
I do as my profession, I am a small business trainer by profession, but I'm also a spoken word artist. I
Mm-hmm.
love writing, doing anything pretty much exciting, generally pretty much expressing myself. Anything expressive, that's me. And so I'm really happy to be here and to share my story. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's kind of I don't even know how deep I should go. There's so
I
much
know,
to
right?
be said. So pretty much on the surface, this is me, an expresser, pretty much.
Okay.
Oh, and we done
Well,
squad drill as teenagers.
Right.
We
Oh,
were,
you
how come
see,
I didn't
I
say
know,
the
right?
you
culture? Right.
So
see?
we had founded this group
Yeah.
called Le Place
The friend,
SN.
yes.
And so,
Okay.
yeah, so that's what
Listen,
I mean. Like, we grew up with the arts
listen.
in your background, in your foreground, in your left ground, just
Yeah.
I
arts.
used to, I used to, I used to work with the telephone company back in my day in St. Lucia, right? I used to work on the field with the men, and that was a favorite place that I love to work. That was my work area, and I love going there because the people are so culturally in tune with
Mm-hmm.
with the culture. It's not
Yeah,
even funny,
very much
And
so.
man, you guys, I have a lot of family money posts. So you don't know, maybe my relative, eh?
Ah, it's
Yes,
all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Yes,
nothing
I have
wrong
a
with
lot of
that.
family money pool. I have a lot of family money pool. Listen, I have to go deep. Yeah, I
Oh,
have a
you
lot of
going deep?
family. So
Um,
I did. So let me ask you guys. So how do you all? I know both of you all have jobs. So how do you all balance? How do you all balance your poetry with your jobs? I'm gonna take with you, Neil first.
Okay. Sometimes it's really challenging. But
Mm,
when you're passionate about something, you find the time. So with me, inspiration comes from everywhere. So
mm,
what I do to help myself, I always work with post-its, and I
mm,
use my phone. So whenever I get inspired, I either write it on the post-it or I put it on my phone. So at any chance that I get to my computer, I'm just gonna upload the stuff. So
mm,
different things motivate us, and I'm grateful for my cousin too. We were talking about that sometime recently, and I was like, that's how I get inspired. I can't sit and write a piece like she could do that. I don't know how she could do that. Like she's talented like that. But
mm,
me, I wait till I get that push or that drive. So um,
mm,
that's pretty much what motivates me. So I get little bursts of inspiration and I put it
mm.
together. But she
Okay, okay.
she gets inspired one time and
It's
voila.
amazing, girl.
Yeah,
Listen, you
yeah,
must be
it's
my
amazing,
sister.
right?
She must be my
Yeah,
sister, my long lost cousin or something. I
yeah,
got a friend
yeah,
that is related to me.
yeah, yeah.
and,
So
and
so
it's amazing. It's amazing that you said
yeah,
that, Neil, because me, I spoke to one of the poets and they said, I need to have paper wherever I go.
right, right.
Because even if we have our phones and we can type, but we write it faster when we write it on paper.
Yeah,
You understand?
mm,
And so you never know what is gonna inspire you to write what.
yeah,
And so when that little, just even that burst of inspiration comes, you just write it down. And that's beautiful.
yeah,
That is
right.
beautiful.
mhm.
Now, girl,
Mhm.
you are not a mess. Tell me.
Well, professionally, I'm a news reporter, so I
Mm.
write for a living.
Hold up, hold up. So you're a news reporter. You haven't bring me on your TV yet. Eh?
Even you had to start it first. How you mean?
Okay, okay, let's go. Let's continue.
And so for me, it is a case of the balance. It's poetry for me is how I come up for air, because life can
Mhm,
literally be so like there's so much going on, and I've learned if I don't write, I drown. Right, so it is an outlet. So I don't even have a choice in terms of I have a choice in terms of what the universe decides to inspire me with, but
mhm,
not writing is not a choice because it is cathartic. It is releasing. It calms me, it soothes me. I've learned that anything that I go through, unless I have written about it, I'm not over it. So generally it is a case of um with everything going on, it is the one outlet that nothing can take away from you. Because you can lose a house, you can lose a car, you can lose, but
I
you
wish I could give you a
yeah.
high five. I wish I could give you a big hug right now because
Right, right.
yes, yes, yes. That's how I feel about my poetry because I know I'm sure you all have heard my story. When I could not speak, the poetry spoke for me. The
Right.
pen and the
That is
paper
it.
were my best
Mhm.
friend. You understand? When I
Yeah.
couldn't say anything to anybody, I could go and write that book. I could go and write that poem. And I'm telling you, I write a poem in literally 5 minutes.
No.
Same,
Okay. You see,
same.
I admire you guys. I can't do that. I admire you. I
For me, I
admire
have to
you.
keep going until I'm finished.
Nah,
Like
ah,
Yes.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And that's what I was telling one of the poets before he came. I think it was Rasiaya who was then. I tell him, your mind and your body, when you're a poet, your mind and your body is going to tell you when to stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to tell you because then there's not going to be nothing left to say on that paper, nothing left to
Yeah.
write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel spent after everything. You just feel depleted.
Yes, yes. So
Yeah.
Okay, let's get so Neil. Now, I'm gonna tell you. Let me lower my screen a little bit. Excuse full screen. Okay. So, Neil, you had a very interesting poem. Okay,
Okay. Which one was that?
so it is called the 2020.
Oh, 2020.
Yes.
Yeah.
In that poem, okay, you said maybe you said so. I turned off my phone, signed out of social media, and switched off my TV and turned into the message that the
Experience
whole
was
experience
teaching
was
me.
teaching me. Maybe all the memes and the news reports, the jokes, might all end up in a record books as the world's greatest hoax. Tell me about that.
Well,
Tell
I'm
me
sure I'm
about
not the only one. I
that. Mm,
mean, with the whole pandemic thing going on,
Mm.
a couple of things didn't really connect. So I wasn't fully convinced. I mean, there was something happening, but I wasn't
Mm.
fully convinced that, it was this grand, disaster that, was preached to us. So, but again, it is a possibility. I'm just saying it could all be a hoax. You never know. You know what I'm saying? This is all about perspective, right? It's a different perspective.
mhm,
So I'm saying with the pandemic, a lot of us had, well, I mean, with no work, we were left with a lot of time at home and a lot of time to think, right? So we could think
mhm,
about stuff and we could think about possibilities. And this is one possibility. So that's what I'm saying. We should not be confined to um, just what we see or what our senses tell us, you
Or
know?
what we're told.
Yeah,
mhm.
what we told by the TV. So that's why I said switch off the TV, turn off the radio, and then, let's tune in, to how I feel about it. And this
Absolutely.
is how I feel about it. So again, this
Yes.
is poetry and perspective. Huh?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
so, so, hey,
Yes.
it is my right,
Of
if I
course.
have a
That was
different
good.
perspective. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes.
Yeah. Um, so this was my piece on the pandemic, and
Absolutely.
it was written on the 21st of August, I believe. Yeah,
Okay.
2020. This was my piece on the pandemic. So I
Wonderful.
don't know if this was like a prelude to the piece. If you want me to share the piece, or you have any other questions about the piece?
You will read. I'll let you read it, but let me say good. I acknowledge my viewers, so let me say good night. I
Okay.
don't know who's there, but on my the person must be listening from my Facebook group page. She said my condolences to all Facebook reviews. I said hi Monropian. Okay,
Yeah.
Richie
Eh,
Boop,
Voja.
boop, 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 boop.
Yes. Richie, good night. How are you? Facebook user, where's your share button? I have no clue what's going on with the share button. I'm trying to figure it out myself. Lauren, hello, Monreporian. Oh my goodness. And June Coleman, you are listening. Good night. Feline, all the way in London, England. Good night, my love. How you doing? So again, I wanted to say before we get into the poem, I wanted to say to Mr. Prosper. I you don't know. I don't like hospitals, but I love to visit people when they are not doing well. It doesn't matter how well I know you or how well I don't know you. You understand? I feel, people have been there for me and I need to be there for people. And met one of the most interesting people, at the hospital. And I just wanted to say, June, you are such an amazing woman. And Cletus, I told you, my warrior. You are my warrior, and you're gonna get up. Okay, I'm coming. I'm coming to you soon. Again for us to chat. For me to say you're gonna get up there. So I love you. Be strong, my man. Okay, be strong. He's from Saint Lucia as well. You are courageous. You are strong. You're a fighter. Okay. All right. So Neil. Pop, 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 pop. Yes. So let's hear a poem.
Okay, so or you want to head 2020 or you want to head another one? I don't know. Since you started with the 2020, I don't know
Yes,
if you
let's
wanted
hear
to stick with it.
2020. Let's hear 2020. Yes.
Okay. All right. So as I said, 2020 is about the pandemic, and unlike Kishi and Cindy, who could write a piece in 15 minutes, I will admit that it took me some time to put this together. Okay.
Okay.
So this is not a piece that I completed in 5 minutes or 15 minutes. And
Okay.
again, um, since I was home, I did have the time. I was able to, you know, um, hone in, getting all the inspiration, getting the safe space, and everything felt good about that piece up until I put it together. Um,
Okay.
so 2020, the pandemic. There goes. 2020, just like vision, should represent precision and optimum clarity. But the experiences and revelations thus far have surely rewritten history. Some say it's prophecy, others say it's ungodly. But whichever it is, the whole world did a 180. Seasons change. It's a nation paralyzed by fear, unemployment everywhere, deadly hornets in the air. And Corona, it's more than just a bear. But who knows? This could all be a new technique, a deadly tactic by those whose pockets run deep. And they all tight-lipped about population control and implantation at the RFID chip. Remember when they felt that people were dying too slow? So they created dengue, chikungunya, and Zika and hired the mosquito? Well, right now, it's the new normal. Social distancing is a must. Using hand sanitizer, a plus. But don't forget your mask, because not even your siblings you can trust. Yes, it's all over the media. Talks of vaccine, virus spreading, quarantining. But black people keep dying on our next day kneeling till we stop breathing. Yes, they're silently killing, homicide, genocide, lynching.
You give
So
me
I shut
goosebumps.
down my computer.
You gave me
So I
goosebumps. Oh
shut
my
down
God.
my computer, signed out of social media, and switched off my TV and tuned into the messages that the whole experience was teaching me. Maybe all those memes, those news reports, those jokes might all go down in the record books as the world's greatest hoax. Maybe there isn't a pandemic at all, and somebody is just giving us a wake-up call. The US is not accepting blame for it. All fingers point to China. Maybe their intention was legit, or might have very well been sinister. Maybe there's an agenda, like a new world order, and the signs were always there, subliminal in nature. It seems like the real life Thanos just snapped his finger. Yes, I.
That is beautiful. Come on. Yeah, that's a beautiful poem. Oh my
You
goodness.
have no idea how
Mm.
restrictive it is for him to be confined in this vehicle right now.
I,
Because
I,
it's
can, I
funny,
can
man.
see that. I can see that because he
Yeah.
likes to be moving around.
Absolutely. So mentally,
Oh
I'm going like, I mean, this is yeah.
my God. Beautiful. Wow, wow, wow. So I can see that you a lot of the points that you have in the poem is a concerns that everybody had. You understand? It's a and it's a legitimate it's a poem made for the time, okay? But
Right,
of course,
right.
Corona is real, unless it's the
Yeah.
one you drinking and it's a beer.
No, not a bear, not a bear. Yeah.
All right. So let's hear you, my dear Kishma.
Which one? I think you had
So which one did you have?
I'm not
which
gonna
one did
ask
you
you
have?
which one to. I'm not gonna ask you which one. I'm gonna ask you
Oh,
a
anyone?
poem after the fact. The question on it after the fact.
Okay.
I'm doing it differently to Neil now.
All right. I'm going
Is
to
it
do just shifting the let me
Sorry.
see. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We're shifting. Let me see. Mm-mm-mm. So Neil is good at memorizing. Me not so much.
Let me tell you something, eh? When you see you got babies, sometimes you got baby brain, you can remember everything.
Listen,
Huh?
my oldest is 17. I'm still suffering from pregnancy brain. I can't.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's
All
hear
right,
the
so
poem.
this one is called Uniforms.
Mhm.
Okay, Kiki. How long did it take you to write uniforms? Be honest.
About 10 minutes.
A month?
10
Is that a
minutes.
record?
Yeah, man, that is amazing to me. Trust me. That's a goal of mine.
So, uniforms. There was always something about uniforms for me, especially the chosen ones. The ones that represented an aspect of you that you chose to bring forth, past the parental demands of school. It felt like a part of you that was deep, holistic, and good decided to show up boldly and unapologetically and wearing something identifiable like, this is me. This is what I'm a part of, and my essence is about the greater good. We associate them with courage and authenticity, don't we? Those uniforms, attributing superhuman strength to them. And then the ideology shifts from the clothes to the person wearing it. Police, fire, EMTs, nurses, doctors, soldiers, prison officers. We have been conditioned to believe that something distinguished lays inside of a uniform, something wholesome and upstanding and untainted, the physical representation of a glimmer of hope. It never occurs to you that shit wrapped in flesh can find itself inside of a uniform. That monsters masquerading as human can shrink themselves enough to fold into the confines of button shirts and hero-fitting pants. It boggles the mind that daytime Freddy Kruegers have retracted their nails to be able to appear human. And the boogeyman knows the feel of undress uniforms, BTUs, camouflage, and cargo pants. How? How do sexual predators, groomers, and molesters and abusers know what a uniform feels like against their skin? I imagine that the uniform rebels. I imagine that you do not sweat easily in your uniform. It ensures that keeping you cool will keep the moisture of your skin away from the shirt. It wants no part of you to touch it any more than what it can help. I imagine you have a hard time buttoning your shirt on mornings as the buttonhole tries to evade the invasion of the button, as it hopes to avoid being seen as part of you, as something that you can be known for. I imagine that the uniform has to deny its identity every time you put it on, relegating itself to just another piece of cloth, just another well-ironed fabric. I imagine that respect walks with its head down whenever you appear, scared to look you in the eye because you are everything that it fears. Fake, twisted, filthy, manipulative. I imagine that your past uniforms are still a laughing stock in their various fields. I imagine that they've repeatedly tried to commit suicide by wrapping the belt that once held your pants around your waist to the collar that used to touch your neck. And I imagine they were unsuccessful because the essential part to committing suicide is to have something that is able to be killed. I imagine that young uniforms cross the street when they see you approaching. You are everything that they've been told they should never be. Faded, torn, dishonored. You are not the one that mothers warn their children about. Most mothers don't even know evil like you can exist. You are a disgrace to the idea of uniforms. You are a state funeral without parade, without platoon, without respect. You are a torn national flag at the Prime Minister's residence. You are a failed attempt at humanity, an embarrassment to the process of creation. May your uniform be stripped. May your qualifications be nullified. May your name be stricken from any association to anything honorable. You are the reason for eclipses, when the sun and the moon try to hide their face in shame at the same time. And in your most painful moments when you need them most, may you not receive help from those in the very uniform that you once impersonated.
Man, that was good.
Thank you.
Girl. I felt that in the deepest part of me.
Thank you.
Tell us what inspired uniform.
Somebody close, very close to me, was assaulted by someone in uniform. Somebody that portrayed strength and character, and somebody that I knew for a long time. And I I just couldn't wrap my head around how it is that you are supposed to be the good guy, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And even when I didn't know what I was going to write, even when I started writing, I felt like the uniform didn't want to be associated with this person. Like, please don't say he is a X. Please don't, you know. And so the
Mm-hmm.
poem pretty much wrote itself from there. I used to be a firefighter
Mm-hmm.
for about 15 years. So one of the most disgraceful things is to have a torn flag at the head of state. That is what. And parades. Now the poem is so designed that if you are someone in uniform, you would understand the some of the implications, right?
Listen,
So
I'm not a woman in uniform. I've never been. I've always been. I love to see somebody in uniform. Okay, but I could feel. I could visualize what you were
yeah,
saying. I could
yeah.
visualize it.
Because when a hero dies, you have parade, you have platoons, you have, you know, fanfare, you have a state funeral. Um, but this is somebody that you just want to just bury in an unmarked grave and never even acknowledge the fact that they wore a uniform at some point in their life. So yeah, it was a very painful poem to write. But yeah,
Wow, girl, that was amazing.
thank you.
It reminded me of the poem that I wrote about the predator. You see, I'm not
Ah,
ashamed to say it anymore. I was raped when I was 8 years old and I was sexually molested. And I asked the predator, why do you keep walking the streets when you know I'm still locked here in my misery? You know, the predator is being shielded, by the very people that's supposed to be protecting the little ones,
exactly,
you
exactly.
know.
And
And
that
it
that's
took
the
me a
thing.
Yeah, and it took me a while. It took me a while for me to be able to get air to breathe, to be able to speak about that aspect of my life and to put it on paper. Believe it, that was a poem. What that one and another poem was the longest I took to write because I wanted to really put it in a way that the person who has it will understand what I'm saying and know that I'm talking to you without mentioning
Hmm.
your name. You
Hmm.
understand? And so, and all those who are molesting and who are, you know, sexually assaulting people, I want them to know that we have
Hmm.
a freaking voice. Facebook, please
Hmm.
don't, Facebook, please don't censor me. But I didn't say anything wrong. We have a freaking voice.
Yeah, it's true. It's
You
true. And
understand? And and there are
one of
so
the
many of us are
sorry, go ahead.
suffering in silence.
Mm,
Kishma, we are suffering in silence that we are afraid of what our our how do you call them? I forget. Our assaulters are going to say, how they're going to feel. I
mm.
don't care no more. I don't care.
I think
I
the
was
biggest thing for me is, I'm
mm,
sorry to interrupt, is
go ahead, yeah.
I would honestly love um to like publicly expose this person, but I appreciate it is not my story to tell. It is not my exposure to give. And I
Mm-hmm.
owe the person that level of confidentiality.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
is not my story to tell. As much
Mm-hmm.
as you know this person is very dear to my heart, but it is they have to come to that place on their own.
But you know
What
what?
I can do is let you know when you do come to that place. Oh yeah, I have your back, but then I
Mm-hmm.
have to respect that it's not my story.
You are telling the story, girl, without mentioning names. And let me tell you something. Sometimes we speak, we there's a my grandmother used to say, "Maka batu sama menyo." My papa
Mm,
you can
mm.
beat somebody without ever laying a hand on them. You see this
Yeah, and
conscience right there?
it remains her favorite poem.
Yes,
That poem. So yeah.
yes. The conscience is nothing to play with, you know.
Mm,
It will kill us faster than anything else. It will it will destroy who we are as a human being
yeah.
if we are not careful. Mm-hmm. Girl. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't believe
Let me see. Listen, I have another question. Okay. So,
Sure. Oh, okay.
um, who I'm gonna ask Neil first. I'm gonna ask you, Kishma. Who was? this question is for both of you. Okay, who was your greatest inspiration to become a poet? Neil, let's start with
Okay. Funny enough, it's someone who you have interviewed on here, Liz Faisal Philip.
you.
Liz
Okay,
Philip, yes.
she's
So,
amazing.
yes, actually, I first attended the Head Funk event, well, which is open mic event, which is that's where we are presently. And the first time I came there, I used to attend with my sister. So I was never really interested in poetry, and I just came there to support her. And when I first saw Liz on the stage, I was blown away. I was like, I know her, and I didn't know she could do poetry. So I was really inspired. Like just at that time, I just felt that drive in me, and I spoke to her, and she told me, well, you could start writing yourself, and I'm like, I cannot write, and I started scribbling stuff, and it was a total mess. And
Mm-hmm.
I started asking her for encouragement, and that's how I ended up preparing my first piece, "Be Yourself." And
Mm-hmm.
after that, I started drawing inspiration from so many people and so many things. And right now, my greatest guru is my cousin Kishma.
Aw.
So
Aw,
anytime
look
I
at
have a new piece,
you.
yeah, I reach out. Yeah, there are a number of people who I reach out to, but this is my first sounding board right here.
Mhm,
Ask her for advice, ask her for guidance. I recited to her. We're very close when it comes to our writing.
mhm,
Um, so for me, that's where I started. I started by supporting a family member and getting
mhm.
inspired by someone who I knew. And
Okay.
again, ladies from Monaco, Mopo in
Yes.
the house.
For sure.
Okay. Well, yeah. So yeah. So that's what it was like for me. And I want to tell people that I didn't start out as a poet, and I didn't start out with a quest to be an entertainer. Or I was never one who loved literature or loved writing or that sort of thing. It was never about that for me. It was about
Mm,
being supportive and being receptive. And when I say being receptive, I mean when she spoke to me about poetry, I was open to it, right? But it was never something that there was this drive for. Nah, up to this date, I'm still one who would not be quick to read a book or nah, not that. That's not how I get inspired. So
listen.
and it all goes to show that's why it's important to be in a positive circle, and
Yeah.
it's important who you have in your space, right? So
Mhm,
the three of us have actually come together, myself, Liz, and Kishma, and we have our own gathering. We have our own
Poetry group.
space, our own poetry group. So
So
I'm gonna let
before,
Kishma. Yeah.
so I was about to say before I let you tell us about that, right? Oh my gosh. But let you tell us about that. I'm gonna hear Kishma's
Oh yeah, yeah. I was just about to pass on to
yeah.
Kishma. I was saying yes.
Okay.
Let Kishma give her story, and then she could tell you
So
more
So
about it.
listen
I'm
up.
just mhm.
So they're giving me power in the chat there. So
Uh,
What's the
what's
they
up?
give
power?
What's going on?
they're giving me power. Is Mr. Richie giving me power there?
Okay.
Mr. Richie, he said he's not getting any love in the house tonight. What did he say? Cindy, Cindy, Cindy. The chat room not getting any attention. We vex.
Hi, chat room.
Hey,
I
Richie.
chat room. Okay, Richie. Oh my God, you just Cindy, Cindy. Okay, so listen. The chat, my people who are in the chat, I love you guys. Okay, I want y'all to comment on the poem. So let me tell you what some of the viewers have been saying. Okay, so
Okay.
them theater did this. Okay, I'm gonna put it on there for it. Every comment I'm gonna put it on. This is what them theater said. Lauren, this is what she said. She said lots of people
Ah,
said
hey,
this poem.
Lorraine.
Yeah, love
Hey.
it.
Hey,
And this
Mopo in the house.
Yes. Thank
and
you.
this is what she also said. Beautiful Keisha. And
Mhm.
let me see who's next. Great piece, Lauren. What she said, poem sounds direct to someone, but love it deep. Yes, yeah. Then you need to put them on blast without blasting their name. Chat room. Look, he said, my dear Richie said the chat room is not getting any attention. So, darling, we're giving you plenty attention now. Plenty, plenty. But listen, Richie, it is not about the chat room, it is about the guests, hey? Listen, it's a funny thing, right? I'm St. Lucian. So I've been around I've been around the Ghanaian, the Nigerian community, a lot of African people around me. So I've been so much around them that I pick up, on the accent. So this guy said he brought me on the show and his radio show, and then he said one of the callers asked him, "But wait, you said this lady was from St. Lucia. She's African." I said, "Wait a minute."
No, but we are the sum of our environment. So whoever you interact with, little pieces of them will fit onto you, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's how you show homage to your people. So,
Yes. Oh my gosh. And I was like, oh my gosh. But I felt good because I know, because I've been around so many of them, I'm able to understand and to speak some of their language. They don't know how much I speak. Yes, so you gotta be careful because I understand a lot and I can speak a good bit more than they think that I am. That I can. Okay. Yes. So okay, Richie, does that help the situation? Okay, let's go. But let's go, Kishma. So tell me about, who inspired your
um,
poetry.
well, I'm a little different in terms of I've always been a book nerd.
Mm-hmm.
I read a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I read, but I think I was used to just jot things down and
Mm-hmm.
write. But I think I was probably about 15, 16, and a friend of mine gave me a book for my birthday. It was a collection of Maya Angelou's poems.
Mm-hmm.
And one poem, I love the book. I think I've reread it maybe about 20 times. But there's one poem that just stuck with me. It's when I think about myself, and it's when I think about myself, I almost laugh myself to death. My life
Mm-hmm.
has been one great big joke, a dance that walked, a song that spoke. I laugh so hard I almost choke when I think about myself. And it
Mm-hmm.
goes on. But then it was just a beautiful poem. But I've not. I love like there are spoken word poets who I love listening to, like Rudy Francisco, Phil K, etc. But the honestly, the biggest inspiration for me has been um, needing an outlet. So it has not been any one individual. It has literally been needing because and I remember my cousin and I were discussing that just before you came on, that as artists we're seen as weirdos, you know. We're always the
Yes.
weird people.
Mm-hmm.
And in my family, you're the weird one. Yeah, your family loves you, but they don't always understand you. So there are certain conversations that it's a bit difficult to have.
Mm-hmm.
um and poetry for me provided that outlet. So that was it. There was never any particular. I remember somebody asked me, who coached you, and who taught you to write poetry? And I'm like, pain. That was my biggest teacher. Pain. I got pain, I wrote. That was it. So,
Yeah.
um but then
Mm-hmm.
I like reading, so the words flow a bit easier because I'm always I read everything I get my hands on. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. I'm an avid reader myself. Actually, I love to study the. It's so amazing, crazy, like you say, weirdo. I like to study the dictionary.
Mm, okay.
I love to
Certified
read.
weirdo then.
Yes, yes. I like to study the dictionary. I just love to go and just if I find a new word, if like I'm reading a book, literally I'll stop and I'll find the different meanings.
Facts. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And pause. Google it. Oh, that's what that means. And come back to the book. Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Yes. I have to really get into the gist of it. If I understand the word, then
Yeah.
it's gonna mean more to me. Yes. So
And
yeah.
and
Hi,
I'm uh,
Alcest.
I'm somewhat of a speed reader, so I would read like 3-4 books in a day. So I would
Oh.
um so I
Since
just
I became a mom of an autistic child, that is out the window. Hmm.
yeah. If I'm in the yeah, so I would read
Yeah.
quickly. Not often, but when I do,
Uh-huh.
it's
Wow, that is amazing. I used to be able to do that, but not anymore, honey. Not
yeah.
anymore.
And I totally get it.
Al says, "Hi, darling. How are you?" Al says in
Oh,
the house.
hi,
Hi,
Alcest.
Alcest.
We know Alcest. Um,
Sadie Acid is in the house. I don't know who else is watching us because I cannot see everybody. Sometimes people are of the live. It doesn't show me everybody who's on there, but when I get off, I can see how many who views we have. So so everyone, good night, everyone. Listen, um, give us another poem.
okay. I just wanted to add to what Kishi was saying,
Mm,
because poetry for me comes from a very deep place, and she said one of her motivators are pain, right? And for
mm,
me, a lot of my pieces, when I look back, I see them as testimonials, right? So at
mm,
whatever point I was in my life at that time, I wrote about it. So it
mm,
was a testimonial. As I mentioned, my pieces are not merely entertainment pieces. So when I look back, I view them right now as life tools. You know, this is me at that point, and this is me now. So this was, I could see the evolution, right? I could see how I've grown and how I've matured from that stage. So most times when I share my pieces with people, they could resonate because I'm going through the same challenges that most other people are, or some of the challenges are similar, right?
A word.
So right, or word challenge, right?
Mhm.
So it's a very healthy type of experience, and as you continue to grow and evolve, you learn so much more about yourself. And I tell people that right now I believe that I'm living the best version of myself. Now we always live in the best version of ourselves, right? It's like, but right now I feel a lot more at peace, right?
yes.
Especially now that I could express myself so freely.
That's
And
what
that
poetry
came,
does for
yeah,
you.
that came through poetry, right? So again, that's what it's been like for me. So 2020, yes, it was about the pandemic. So right now I'm gonna share another piece which is a lot more personal to me. I think I sent that one to you as well, and that's Living Tribute.
Yes.
Right? So Living Tribute, well, I did get part inspiration from my sister. I have a sister who writes, um,
Mm-hmm.
and she has a book called My Life Interpreted. And My
Mm-hmm.
Life Interpreted is about, excuse me, how she learned life lessons through her everyday life experiences, which is kind of similar to me, right? How I write is I write about my life experiences, and she has a piece in there. Uh, and, excuse me, entitled Living Tribute. And Living Tribute is about how she learned. Sorry. Living Tribute is about showing appreciation to people while they're alive, right?
Yes. Yes.
And of course, it's the norm right now in our culture that, we show appreciation
When they
to
die.
people when they pass, right? That's when we throw
Mm-hmm.
the parties, and that's when we see all the nice things and the presents and all that, right? So anyway, I got inspired to like, hey, I'm like, when you think of eulogies, and most of the people who write eulogies, sometimes your family or your close friends, and sometimes these people don't even know you. You understand? So who
Absolutely.
better to create a eulogy but you? So I'm like, hey,
Okay.
I'm
Let's
gonna
give a
prepare my
tribute.
own, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
my own tribute to myself. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. That's right.
To
That's right. That's
myself.
right. That's right. So listen, listen. I am going to tell you this. Okay, I should have told you, but I've got my gentle assistant over here. His name is Richie, and this is what he said. He said, "Guys," and I keep forgetting. Make sure you share and like the stream. It is important that you share and like.
Mhm.
We are trying
Okay.
to promote our people. We're trying to promote our work, and it's important that we promote each other. Like and share as many times as you can. It doesn't. You can share. Okay, everybody got to know about our poets. Okay, and us what we're
Hey.
doing. Exactly. Yes.
What she
And
said.
so, listen. After Neil is done with his poem, Alsace is in the house now. She just gave me, she said, I just came in. Has Kish done a particular poem? This is the poem I'm going to request from you afterwards, after Neil's own, but I'm going to ask it only after. I'm going to tell you which one she got. She asked me which we have done already. I think you know what it is. Okay, take it away, Neil.
Okay, welcome, Alces. Hey. Okay, so as I was telling you about Living Tribute, so again, when I die, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what they're gonna do. In fact, I told Kishi when I passed, there's a song that I wanted to sing for me. I don't know if she's gonna do it, but if you don't do it, I'm gonna haunt you for the rest of your life. Okay. So
Oh
anyway,
no.
that's that. But again, this is my living tribute. So when you ask the question to give to tell us about your background and stuff, and Kishi said, "How deep do you want to go?" I'm like, "Hey." This is pretty much what it's about because I could go deep and I'm about to go a little deep. Okay? So,
Mm-hmm.
you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Living tribute. That was prepared in August 2016, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
Who am I? I'm an expression of life, a vortex of love, and a messenger of truth, carved with a human body and soul, and standing right here in front of you as living proof. I am unlimited, spiritually driven. I'm free, an enigma to some, but unapologetically me, fully open and receptive to life. No mask, no need to hide. For I have learned as I have lived that God is always by my side. I urge you, when I pass, please save my family, the gifts, the good deeds, the hugs, the tears. As we all know, they were meant for me in my living years. If you knew me not, then I will remain a mystery, as it would be futile to capture my essence from any eulogy. So before I become the subject of chat at the malls and my pictures are spread all over your Facebook walls, please seize the opportunity to connect with me now. You have little time left, can't you see? Live every single day like it's gonna be your last, because one day it just will be.
Jesus, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. That is
Yeah.
beautiful. And the inspiration behind it is absolutely, it's a reality that we live in right now because a lot of times, we see that so many times, everybody will pay tribute to you when you die. I told my children, listen, if I tell you all I am sick, start making party for me, eh? Hey, hey, I go to die, start celebrating my life. When I'm finished, burn
Mhm.
me and put me in the sea or something.
Spread
Yeah.
me over,
Yeah.
spread me over
Yeah.
a sexy man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey. Oh my God. But that was
Yeah.
beautiful, Neil. So,
Yeah.
Kishma,
Yes.
you
Okay.
already have your job cut out for you, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
So before she goes in, just let me add this quickly, right? So remember, I said that I saw my pieces right now as life tools, right? So
Yes.
not entertainment pieces. So right now, I gotta take my own advice. So I'm saying, um, I'm asking you to seize the opportunity to connect with me now, right? This is what it's all about. It's about the now experience. So this is what I'm doing right now. I'm trying my best. Or every experience that I have, I cherish that experience because it could very well be my last. Okay, so this is the
Absolutely.
lesson here. Yes, we joke around it, or some of us, we don't even want to talk about death. It's so taboo. But then the bitter reality is that any one of us
Mm-hmm.
could go at any point in time. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the lesson here. Cherish your experience. Be present in the moment. Right now, we are present, 100% present with you. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, I just wanted to add that, okay? I don't want to steal your
Awesome.
time.
Yes.
I just
Good.
want to say
So
that.
listen, Elsa said, and I'm going to put it on the screen right now. She said, let me see what my girl said. She said, you can read it. Can you read what she said?
Ah!
So we
I'm
are
so
going to
crazy.
hear, we are going to hear Coco Coli. Yes.
Okay.
So it's actually called
Foutage.
fouettage.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that hot. Close things down.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Um, so of course, fouettage is the Creole wood. Oh, you got it?
Oh, sorry.
We're doing a whole, yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
So fouettage is the Creole wood for fruits. And that's one of the beautiful things about Dawat. So we had Dite Kakon Conversation where everybody was supposed to do a
No,
Creole piece. So this was
Mhm.
my first attempt at a Creole piece.
Okay. Take it
Fouettage.
away.
Depuis moi petit, Mwen ka manje fritage. Mwen aime toute qualité. Espresman le dou. Mwen leve ka manje mango. Mango pon, mango long, mango Julie, mango paloui. Pli niji, c'est pli mwen aime. Ek pa pale pou zanana, ebejo wange, figmi. Ek toute qualité pomme. Pomme d'amour, pomme cité, pomme d'ilien, pomme cannelle. Depuis ni pomme, ou suppose sa vidou. Bon, juste coco moi aimé. Coco vert, coco di, coco sec, glo coco nan, coco non. Moi aimé coco. Bon, gouyave. Qui a dit dans blanc? Eh ben, qui was? Moi aimé. Ek c'est ça qui pas de commun. Zabuiko, mi wiz, tamawe desin. Non, moi aimé yo. Moi, tout ces fruitages là, moi, j'ai mangé. Ma jamais mangé coco couli. Tout ça, moi, savent di coco couli, son bagay qui si. On bagay qui wak. On bagay qui piti. Et qui a juste fait fidja yo fò mal, mizi si. Non, coco couli, matin intéressé. Bon, j'en dis moi.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better.
Oh, j'en offert moi coco couli do 3 semaines passées. Moi di expérience là moi ni coco couli c'est pas un bail bon. Il dit moi peut-être coco couli moi j'ai mangé c'est pas bon qualité. C'est lui qui connaît bon coco couli. Rôle la vie, il ka nous oui coco couli. Moi di n'a pour une chance. Ek n'a goûter coco couli. Eh ben là, il mettait coco coulia dehors. Les moi garder coco coulia. Coco coulia lisse, il net, il bien maturité, et qui bien wed, et qui juste négocier ou ça. Eh ben moi mettez coco coulia en bouche moi. Et les moi entoué en dedans. Glo coco coulia ka coule tout bon bouche moi. Coco coulia bien doux ça. Eh ben, moi manger coco couli. Pli bon, c'est pli moi manger. Moi niché, moi mordé, moi valé, moi soucé coco couli. À présent, moi tout partout ka chercher pour coco couli. Moi de na bouison plan pour me la caille moi. Maman la manger fritage là. Il bon pour border.
Oh God.
Yo, you're not a hot mess, okay? Coco couli, so coco sa ke boko sa.
D'accord. Ma Dieu, mais ça coco couli ni toute qualité.
Hold on. More de coco couli. You bite the coco couli.
Moi mordé, moi niché, moi valé, moi soucé. Coco couli.
Listen, I don't know if you send that piece to me. I would like you to send it to me for me to read it.
No, I didn't do that.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Listen, you're an access. What you're here, you're killing me, eh? Oh my gosh. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh. Liz had a poem. When Liz read the poem, I thought I was gonna. She said, what poetry is to me? Oh my God.
Right,
What I am
yes,
to poetry.
yes. What
Oh
I
my
am to
gosh.
poetry. Yes, yes.
My goodness. Because I
Mhm.
can say myself.
It's a mobile A. It's a mobile.
Yeah, I believe so too. I believe so. So tell me, guys, tell me about that what?
Well, so Thou Art is a compilation, a foundation, creation of Liz Faisal, Philip Kishma Serieux, and Neil Serieux. Now, one of the things that we realized, because where we're at now, we're at a poetry event right now. We're waiting for it to start. Okay. And all of us have performed at that event before. So we're actually in the north. But there was no outlet in the south. And we were artistically starved.
Mm-hmm.
where we were at. And we're like, listen, if we've been doing this for a little while and we're feeling stuff, so
Mm-hmm.
far less the persons who never had an outlet to begin with, because COVID limited our outlet, but at least we had one. So we came up with this group, and we're like, all right, we're gonna have poetry once a month, and we're going to theme it. So as a
Mm-hmm.
result, it takes persons out of their comfort zone, because every month you're supposed to write a poem based on
Mm-hmm.
that theme. And we were
Mm-hmm.
playing around with the name Thou Art, with the name, and we came up with Thou Art. And thou, of
Mm-hmm.
course, it is basically saying, I am art. You are art.
Mm-hmm.
I am, you
Yes.
are, thou art. Everything
Okay.
that we do is art. So we
Mm-hmm.
do poetry, we have musicians, we have, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been going very well. And it was clear that there is a hunger for that kind of outlet in the South. We've been asked several times, hey, when are you guys coming to the North? And we may periodically visit the North, but let's get it clear. We from the South. Actually, we're from the
Exactly.
East, like the wise men, just
Yeah.
to clarify. But it is very important for us that that remains home. That
Yes.
remains home. And
You
so
know,
that has been the what?
yeah. One of the things that I asked Liz on the show when she was here, I asked her, what are you guys doing to really, to broaden the horizon for poetry in St. Lucia, to help other poets, and that's it's amazing to know that you all have this platform where you'll give other poets a chance to be able to just be themselves and to show their work, and to show their music, and that I think that's really commendable. The way this is, listen, I've not was on makata watu.
Listen,
Yeah, man. Yeah,
listen,
man.
listen, pull up.
Yeah.
We had
Yes.
last month, the theme was erotica.
Uh-uh.
And that is always a huge hit. Persons come from Grosse Lake to get the
Mm-hmm.
erotica on. And what I love about it is that um, as long as respect is maintained, this is safe space.
Mm-hmm.
So the erotica was raw and in your face, but still so tasteful and classy. You know,
It was
we yeah,
erotic. Mm-hmm.
yes, exactly. So it was just a really beautiful experience, and I think that's one of the pluses of theming it. You know
Yeah.
exactly what you're coming for. So if you're not an erotic kind of person and you did take a conversation, that's fine. If you're
So
more bleed
listen.
out loud, that's
So
fine.
so did you perform Coco Cooley at the
Yes,
erotic?
I actually performed stuff that is, trust me, Coca-Cola and nothing on that.
Girl, you talking my language, okay? Listen, let me tell you what our viewers are saying. So this is what Lauren said. Lauren said, Coco Cooley. You see? Alsa said, thanks. This is what Richie said. Richie said, this is above my pay grade. I don't do
My
that.
favorite.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. So listen, you guys are doing amazing, amazing. I could stay all
Thank
night
you.
and talk to you guys, but I know you guys
Thank
have
you.
to go. So
Yeah.
Yes.
what is the biggest message you want to give take you want our young poets who are upcoming to take away from what you guys are doing, because you're not doing an amazing work. I follow you guys, and let me tell you something. I always tell everybody that comes on the show, whatever you're having, send it to me. I don't know, because I have so much work on my plate. I have to get my guests, I have to get, prepare everything. But send once you have that thing that's going on, whatever you have, I can promote it. It doesn't take
We
anything out
appreciate
of
that.
me. just
Do appreciate
just
that.
send it to me, because I love to see people grow. I love to see people in their element. I love to see whatever that's going to be your thing, therapeutic for you, that'll take you out of that place in your head. Do it. And it's going to bring out who you are, because poetry brings out who we are, what we feel. You understand? We are originals. You all know that, right? We are
Yeah,
original.
absolutely. We blazing trails. We Feblan and Slabo and like and you asked
Oh
a
my
question,
gosh.
and I think you've kind of answered it.
Yeah.
If I could leave anything, it is there is no such thing as wrong or right poetry. There is no such thing as, express yourself. Where trauma is concerned, my thing is, if they wanted you to speak better, they should have treated you better. So it is your story, write it. It is your, so you do not owe. And I think sometimes as poets, because of societal construct, we try to curtail our poems to fit societal norms. The
Mhm.
whole aspect of being an artist is to step out of the norm. You not
Yes.
Don't try to fix it. Don't try to make it, because most of us were raised in, Christian homes, and we still cover our face when certain words are said. um Somebody told me I'm bipolar when it comes to poetry. Like, um I have an alter ego, he said. So
Mhm.
me normally is this kind, hey, how you doing, person, and then I get on stage and it's like, what the
Where did that
hell?
person come from, right?
But I think that is exactly what art should be, because
Yes.
this is where the authentic you shows up. So my advice would be, find your tribe and express yourself there.
Yes. Listen, when if people see me, right? I'm a very laid back person. You'll hear me not it's hard for you to hear me say a bad word and stuff like that. I'm laid back and spiritual. But let me tell you, if you see the other side of Cindy, you'll be asking, who the heck is that person?
Listen,
And
I have named my other side. She has a whole personality.
oh, she got a name too.
Listen, yeah.
Yes.
So
Me, I be
I
getting
give her a
down and
name.
dirty without saying a bad word. I'm telling you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
It's. I think it's necessary. It's necessary because we're multifaceted. So it is necessary to
So,
cater to all of these
Richie
aspects.
said, so I can write a poem about when I used to go up on the roof and turn the antenna and say good. It
Ah, yeah,
is a
Listen,
poem.
listen.
yeah, man.
Oh my
Yes,
goodness. Yeah, so it is like you said,
absolutely.
it does no wrong on writing poetry.
Mhm.
Whatever comes out of you, that's what needs to come out.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Just let it flow.
Mm-hmm.
But I think but one of the most important things for me is find your tribe. Because if you
Yes.
do not have a safe space where you express yourself, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to limit your self-expression.
Yes.
So that.
One of the things I always say, I have these two slogans. I don't use the other one often enough, but the one on my logo says no tap outs. But
Mhm.
for this show, I want it to say the slogan for it is be heard. You have to let your voice be
Mhm.
heard. Don't let people silence you.
Mhm.
Don't let people, as long as you're not disrespecting nobody, you understand what
There
I'm
you go.
saying? You let
Mm.
your voice be heard. Everybody has a right to what they want to say and what they don't want to say. You have a right to your own opinions. You have a right to write from the heart what's affecting you and what's not.
Mhm.
And after I had my breakdown on everything, I suffered mental illness. I was in depression, deep depression. I went through all my grief. You understand? I got to the point where I was not I was if you realize my book, my first book, I don't know if you've seen it before, it's called When I Stood in Silence. And that book has a bottle on. I specifically chose that because it has a bottle with the word emotions on it, not because I wanted to show I had bottled my everything. I
Mhm.
wasn't letting it out. I am jovial on the outside, but when I get into my space, my that's alone, I am I am a total wreck. And so I had to get out of that after a failed attempt of suicide. I had tried many before, but after that failed attempt of suicide, I had to find. I said, Cindy, no, you cannot let things get to you like this. You have to heal yourself because you can go to many therapists. You have to get out of that way
Mhm.
yourself. And I had to heal, and poetry was that for me. I started writing when I was 8 years old.
That's
When
it.
I was 8 years old, because I was going through so much. And so
Mhm.
poetry was that thing that catapulted me back to who I was. Now, listen, what can bring me down so? Maybe for a
You,
little minute,
you
I'm going like,
listen.
nothing.
And it gives you this radical attitude because you know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible for anybody to come to me. You cannot embarrass me with my stuff. This is my stuff. Have a seat.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pour you a cup of tea and tell you my stuff. You can't tell me my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really?
Hey.
You
I
you
had this
you
Neil, let me
so,
tell you.
yeah.
You in the company of greatness right there, you know, Neil. And I'm
I
so
tell you,
glad
I tell
that you
you,
are
I tell
inspired
you. You know,
by
yeah,
these beautiful
yeah.
ladies. Yeah.
Thank you.
I
Yes.
mean, we're really grateful to be here, and we're really grateful to have everybody in the house, even if we can't see them.
Yeah.
Lorraine from Monipo, we really
Mm,
appreciate you
that's
here.
that's
I'll
Kirian's brother.
Oh yeah, oh guys,
Yeah,
great
Kirian's
man.
brother.
We really, really appreciate it, and it's all what Kishi was saying. Find your tribe, and this is my tribe. I'm gonna stick with my tribe. We
Mm-hmm.
have a couple of us here from Dawat. We came here to represent. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? But you know, what is our
Yes.
Yes.
lobby? Our devil is in
Yeah.
Monaco.
Yeah, and
That's
I
where we
cannot
come
say,
from.
and I can't say enough how proud I am of you guys for what you're doing in
Yeah.
St. Lucia.
Thank
I
you. We
remember when I
appreciate
was growing up, when I used to listen to I used to love Derek Walcott's poems. Love, love, love it, But my inspiration didn't come from me, it came from me going through stuff, and that's why you say your pain, you know. I did literature, but before that literature, there was my poetry because I
it.
wrote from a very early age, And so, life takes us different places. But guys, listen, y'all are doing an amazing thing with that art. I know you'll
Thank
have a
you.
Facebook page. I am so thrilled to hear that y'all are doing amazing things. And y'all are gonna go far. So what's your vision? What is your vision for that what?
Paid artists. That is the to have artists be recognized for their work, not from a position of visibility, but pay artists for the work that they produce. And that is what we've been working towards with our art is concerned. Um,
Mm,
as long as it is feasible, yeah, give due diligence for the fact that art is what keeps the world afloat.
yes.
This is what prevents all of us from diving into depression. And when we
Mm,
do dive, this is what pulls
It's
us out.
out, right?
yes.
So
Yes.
at the
Yes.
end of the day, that for so it's like and a while ago we were speaking about that, creating that platform where whether you 8 or 80, we respect that you have something to say. And our job
Mhm.
is to create a platform for you to say that. And
Yes.
that's it. And to get as much visibility as possible for
And
our artists.
that's one of the reasons to why I came up with the show. I said, if you were so, because I'm here in Georgia. I've been in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, for like about 18 years now. 18. And I'm going like, no, I write poems. I have even sung calypso, to believe it or not.
Hey, me too.
And I have sung on stage. I have songs. I have about 30 songs that I could give somebody for them to. But poetry is my love. It's my passion. And nobody knew about me. Nobody knew about me. I was just hiding my talent. And I'm gonna Cindy. After I got out of my zone, I said, Cindy, you have to use that you have to get a platform where you could reach other poets like yourself, because nobody knew you understand.
Mhm.
So that's why I said I want entrepreneurs like myself, artists like myself, authors, poets like myself, create that platform for them to have a voice, for them to be
Mhm.
seen. I may not have a whole host of viewers like other platforms do. But I know what I'm doing there is worth it, because I can bring people like you on there, and you can spread the
Mhm.
word and bring other people, so that people, even if we don't become rich or we don't become famous, but people are gonna hear your work somehow, somewhere. They're
Yeah.
gonna hear it. You understand? And that's the
And the
purpose.
vibe attracts the tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Was that?
The vibe attracts the tribe.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So we have
So
got to continue doing this, guys. It was such an amazing. I could have asked you all to do one more
likewise.
poem, but we are 9:21. Are you all able to do one more before you go, or you want to call
No,
it?
because we're actually listed to perform,
Yeah,
and I'm pretty
Okay.
sure they've been pushing
seen
us
that
back
back.
because we told them we would sign.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. All right, guys. Well,
but we
listen.
would we would we would love to. What we can do is probably touch base with you during our next
Mhm.
next Dow Art, and then
Yes.
we can probably do something. We would love to, but I do know that we were scheduled to perform, so I'm pretty
I
sure we
understand. And
yeah.
I would love to collaborate with you guys, because I believe that you'll have something really good going on here. And I was thinking of,
Thank
next
you.
month is National Poetry Month, of course. So that I know you're gonna have a lot of activities. Yes. Yes. National Poetry
Mhm.
Month in April. And so I'm looking to do some amazing things. I don't know if I have enough body for me to do what I want to do, but yeah, but
Yeah,
I want us to do something, to help us out.
yeah,
But anyway, guys,
absolutely, absolutely.
it was it was a pleasure
Likewise,
being
it
here
was
with
an
you guys.
absolute
Yes,
joy to speak with you. We really did appreciate the time.
Yeah.
We
yes,
appreciated the platform, the visibility, the like minds, that safe space. We
yes.
really, really did appreciate it. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Maybe
Of
this time
course.
do it as we bring on some of our new artists
Artist.
as well. Let them get some visibility. Definitely.
Exactly. And I would like to say thank you to our viewers. You all stayed with us for an hour, almost an hour and a half, and it was amazing,
Okay.
amazing poetry. Yes. So thank you guys. They gotta go. So have
Yes.
an awesome night. Enjoy and listen. I was going to put some of your poems, but what you all did here, I was going to put some of the videos, but I'm like, no, I want the original stuff. So I got it.
All right,
Yes.
darling. Yes.
Yes. Have a good night. Okay. Have a good
You
night.
All right.
too.
Thank
Take
you
good
so
Bye
care.
much.
bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Listen, guys, it is always, always a pleasure to have like minds like myself, poets, entrepreneurs, and everybody on the show. People are going through so much in this world, and we need an outlet to be able to voice ourselves. We need an outlet to be able to speak of our deepest concerns, and we need that outlet. So I just want to say thank you to my viewers. I love you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate your coming here every single time to support this show. This is not about me. It's about the people and the lives that I touch, the lives that we touch. You understand? The so many of our people who need that little push, who need to be motivated to do stuff, and they just need that little push to go ahead to do what they need to do. I know I needed that little push, and I know there are many others who need a little push. You guys, if you know anyone who is seeking to just have a little visibility, and share the poem, share the story, whether it be music, whether it be art, whatever it is. If they want to bring awareness to something, I encourage you guys to bring them on this show, Poetry and Perspective with Placide. We're gonna have fun as we do, and we're gonna have amazing fun. And I did not mention Match Madness tonight. I thought of giving away a little gift tonight. I don't know. What do y'all think? For those of you who are still here, what do y'all think? I thought of giving a little gift tonight. But tomorrow is our last day for Poetry and Perspective 1 year anniversary Match Madness giveaway. And we still have about 5 more gifts to give away, including a dinner for two, some books for children, and a little one or two little things. Okay, so I need you guys to come back tomorrow. Invite people over tomorrow. You all need to win. And let me tell you all, I have been showing my winners, what they win. And I also want my winners to send me a photo of you picking up your gift when you get your gift, even if it be a month from now. Send me a photo so that I could show people we are serious about promoting people. We are serious about rewarding people for their support and their contribution to the show. So guys, I don't think I'm gonna do any gift tonight. Nobody said anything. So I'm gonna leave it all for tomorrow. But I do want you all to have an amazing, amazing night. I want to let you all know, do not ever, ever tap out. Don't be silenced by fear, because fear means false evidence appearing real. So don't be silenced by fear. And if you have somebody or an idea for the show, please, 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 you can write me at, let me see if I can find that banner right here, Cindy P at Rise to Prosperity, okay? .com. If you have somebody you want to bring on the show, you can write me up or you can text me. Hey, whatever. Listen, I feel fabulous. Feel fabulous. I always say you will fail, you will fall many times. You will fail many times before you can succeed. But never ever let failure be that finality for you. I love you guys. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing night. The rest and tomorrow we're gonna be back here. We're gonna have an amazing poet, and she's also an entertainer from St. Lucia. So please, please, please come support us and win some amazing prizes. Okay, have a good night. I love you. Until next time, bye.